Good evening and Merry Christmas Eve. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital, and I want to take you through the 551w setup and just show you how in practice I take a quick scan and look at the charts to see what I want to focus on for tomorrow. So I'm logged in at stockcharts.com and click on my favorites, and I've saved a 551w NYSE. So I'm going to take a look at 551w screen against the New York Stock Exchange listed stocks. Quickly run the scan. Results are returned. Now these are listed in alphabetical order. It looks like there's about 15 or 20. And what I like to do is, since this is the New York Stock Exchange, I like to sort it by volume and then look at the top volume stocks. Low, Duke, Capital, Southern, Raytheon. I want to take a quick look at Duke Power because we're going to see that that's actually a triple screen setup as well, so it won't hurt us to take a look at that. So Duke Power. As you can see, it's up on a 5-week. It's pulled back on 5 days. It's had 1 day of momentum. It's a white candle, and you can tell by inspection that there's 2 to 1 on the upside from a retest of the swing high at about 18, with a pretty obvious stop around 17.20, something like that. So that's the kind of stock that or ETF that 551w is going to find. You can see that it's oversold on a Williams percent R10 basis. So that has everything that I'm looking for. That's the pattern that I prefer. All right, so let's go back and take a look. Now what I've got all these sorted by volume. Now what I want to do is take a quick look at all of them. And so what I'm going to do is replace the contents of the following list with these results. The 551w, I'm going to replace that list. Yes, I'm sure. And now that list is in place. Just waiting a few seconds here. And there we go. And now I want to view my 551w list. And I want to look at that in a candle glance. And I know that these already have a favorable Williams percent R rating. So I'm not going to display that for purposes of this exercise. Now I already don't like Burlington. You can see there's some kind of anomaly with that gap, so I'm going to get rid of that one. But you can see nice positive swing up, orderly pullback, and it's already starting to make a move, and still 2 to 1 on the upside. So I really like Accenture. I like AEP, and is very nice. Look at that nice tight doji. SIG is great. It's a low cost, and look at that nice shelf forming. Love it. Eaton is good. Duke Power is brilliant. EIX is excellent. So you can see there's a lot of favorable actions in here, and these are things that are lagging SPY over the last 3 or 4 days, so there's some catch-up to play. So if we get any kind of momentum in the next market move, I would expect those to be really powerful. Wouldn't surprise me to have a great move. And so if you just take a look at this Ann Taylor, from 14.5, you can see you could probably engineer a stop of about 20 cents. And there's $1.50 on the upside. So there's a potential 7R reward to risk ratio if Ann Taylor comes through. We've already seen 3 days of panic selling. There was some buying interest around 15, but we can already buy it at 14.5. So that really looks favorable. And I like how Duke Power has 2 dojis in a row. Very good looking charts. So that's a quick look at the 551. Now if I wanted to take a look at, let's say, Duke, let me see if I can do this with a chart book. Now it's a little bit easier to see. That's ACN, and we were talking about Duke, so let's take a quick look at Duke using my standard tactical display. And Duke looks, man, I just love that chart. So I like that so much, I'm going to do a quick chart using Snagit. So I fire that up, snag, collect. I want to copy some things here. Just to make it easier to draw the chart. So the blue line is the day that I'm interested in it. Red line is where I would be drawing my initial stop, excuse me. The profit target that I'm looking for. Sorry about that. Let's just draw a purple line here instead of horsing around. So I'm looking at about 18. This is the box and the orderly pullback that I'm trying. That's the frame that I'm looking at, as you can see right in here. Yellow's a little easier. That's the recent price action that informs my expectations. And then what I'm really looking is to buy right about here with momentum. And you can see the Williams percent on an annual basis. It's very powerful. Been in a long uptrend for months. Recent pullback. You can see on the last time that it was overbought on Williams percent R. Hey, it stayed overbought for another 2 months. And here was the last orderly pullback, and look at that little doji formation right there. That's a 551 pattern right there, and you can see the kinds of moves that can come out of these things. I'm not saying it happens like that every time, but that's the mentality. There's a lot of positive psychology in this, in Duke Power right here. So I really like Duke Power, as you might tell. So I'm going to call this one 551w 2009-1224 Duke Power, and this is my frame. And so that's how we do 551. You could go through that list and find as many of those as you like, and pretty quickly you can set up a pretty simple swing trade in a bull market. So thanks for your attention.